Good morning, Jim Bale.
Good morning, visitors, guests. It's great to have you all with us this morning. I think Jeff Tillman has our invocation and pledge of allegiance.
Okay, invocation. I got a little something special for everybody today.
All right.
I'm not going to sing a song, but I do like poetry. You know, I write songs. That's kind of poetry with strings attached. So a little background on this poem. So this American poet, Heather McHugh, she's fairly famous for poets. They went on a tour of Italy and Rome, and they were having dinner with one of the local dignitaries. And they were, and the dignitary stood up at the dinner, and the question to the poets at the table was, what is poetry? And this is what Heather McHugh wrote. The poem is called What He Thought. What's poetry? Is it the fruits and vegetables and the marketplace at Campo di Fiori, or the statue there? Because I was the glib one, I identified the answer instantly. I didn't have to think. The truth is both. It's both, I blurted out, but that was easy. That was the easiest to say. What followed taught me something about difficulty. For our underestimated host spoke out, all of a sudden, with a rising passion, and he said this: the statue here represents Giordano Bruno, brought to be burned in the public square because of his offense against authority, which is to say the church. His crime was his belief the universe does not revolve around the human being. God is no fixed point or central government, but rather is poured in waves through all things. All things move. He is the soul of the world. Such was his heresy. The day they brought him forth to die, they feared he might incite the crowd, for the man was famous for his eloquence. And so his captors placed upon his face an iron mask in which he could not speak. That's how they burned him. That is how he died, without a word, in front of everyone. And poetry is what he thought, but did not say. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the 408 test.
Say and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Brian, will you introduce our guests, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So this morning we have 46 members in attendance. And Dan, do you want to introduce?
I'll introduce the folks.
Okay.
We have several dignitaries visiting. We have our District Governor Claudia Canaday. We have past District Governor Cookie Billings. We have John. And I have my beautiful family with me today. I have Judy and Katie have joined us. And our guest speakers from Children of Vietnam, Mrs. Hong and Nancy Lettieri will be talking to us later.
We have a guest. John, do you want to introduce Brad?
Sure. Brad's a new financial advisor with a bigger prize, and I told him to check out all the clubs in the area, so please welcome Brad.
We have a guest of Mike Conrad.
Yes. Michael Trump. I just met Michael this morning. But let me tell you a little bit about him. Louis Ritchie, who many of you may know, who is our treasurer, just moved our bank account to BB&T, and he worked with Michael at BB&T here in Friendly, and he expressed an interest in Rotary, and guess what? Louis recommended our club, so, which is a great thing, and it works for him. Couldn't be a better morning for him to be here. He's been with BB&T as an assistant vice president for 3 years from Charlotte, And so please welcome Michael. And
I'm so excited this morning that Christy Milhonst has come out. She's with Out of the Garden Project. And Christy's going to give us a real quick blurb on what they do. She and her husband. Let's welcome her Out of the Garden. My husband and I co-founded Out of the Garden Project. We're celebrating 10 years this year. Our primary mission is to make sure that children in our area and the Guilford County community don't have to worry about food access. And we do that through a variety of different programs. One is our Operation Backpack, which is our original program that we started in our home. We now provide about 1,500 to 1,600 different bags every week on a weekly basis. Our second program, which has really become our biggest program, is our Fresh Mobile Food Markets. We take our truck out to different locations all around Guilford County, to 23, actually getting ready to start our 24th location. It's like a mobile grocery store. So we take that truck out, filled with about 5,000 to 6,000 pounds of food, fresh produce, meat products, bread from Panera, lots of different things that families can have come and get free food. So our third program, which is very exciting, somebody asked me yesterday at the golf tournament, how are we going to actually cure the issue of hunger? And I told him, I said, I don't know that it's one big solution. I think it's lots of different things. But one thing that we've started is a shared-use kitchen, and we actually have kitchen entrepreneurs that come into our kitchen at a very reduced cost to them. But we help them start small businesses so that they can make a financial impact to their families. They make food product and then they sell it at local markets. And then our fourth exciting new program is called our Urban Teaching Farm. With the help of Rotary, we're so excited to kick that off. We have a ribbon cutting on November 9th. Yes, and so that is going to be a teaching farm where we teach folks how to garden and farm, and hopefully that will be a really inspiring place. So we hope that you all will check that out. And thank you for having us.
Here's a potentially embarrassing question. Did I miss anybody?
Very good, Sergeant DeBarnes.
Okay.
Christy, does the truck get out to some of the food deserts in the community and places
Those
where?
are our primary locations of which we go. Usually we'll go to a school parking lot around 2:30 in the afternoon when school is letting out, or we'll go to low-income housing communities, trailer park communities. Yes, we try to kind of designate specific areas, but we really try to make it accessible to all different areas of town.
That is fantastic. The food scarcity is a big issue. While we're having a fantastic breakfast here right now, it's hard for us to imagine that. But there's something like 25% of our city has a significant food scarcity or food insecurity issue right now, today, this very day. So that's a fantastic issue. Christy, it's nice to have you.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you.
I'm looking for Rick Mitchell for our birthdays and anniversaries report, and I think we're just going to do that next week.
Rick might have slipped in this morning, though, sleep.
Rick's tired.
Yeah, he might be tired.
He's still
after-
tired.
Let's do this now. If you cooked in any way, had anything to do with the food preparation for our world's greatest meal, would you stand up and just let us recognize you, please? Hey, come on, don't be right now. There were more. I think there were a few people like Rick, who's probably sleeping. He got there at 3:30 in the morning to get the grist poured. So I appreciate what you all did. The world's greatest meal was a fantastic success. Thank you so much for hosting it. Chip, I know you planned to. Chris, I know you picked up the ball when we had the power outage from the hurricane. That was fantastic. Thank you. Mike, do you want to make a comment about the world's greatest meal and the purpose behind it?
Well, it of course is to eradicate polio, and this morning, these guys have been amazed. They said, what's going on? Everybody keeps sending me checks. But thank you so much for everybody that's already contributed. I'm going to be taking checks for the next couple of weeks, and guess what? If you forgot, I'm going to remind you. Write a check, give it to me, and we're going to finally eradicate polio from the face of the earth. We just got two trouble spots, Afghanistan in Pakistan. So it is Rotary's mission to do this, and we'll move on to something else as Rotary do. So thanks so much for your support.
I don't know if anybody,
I forget, is it the King City Rotary or Foundation?
It doesn't matter, but I would rather for you to make it to the Rotary Foundation, and then I'm going to send the check on and with the transmittal sheet, so each one of you will get credit for your contribution. But if you make it to the Gay City Foundation, guess what? I work with Tom Richardson, and we'll make it happen.
You told me Conrad.
maybe you saw this, Barry Rasson sent out an email this week. I'm not sure if everyone had a chance to read it, but a real quick recap. Someone asked him, why is it so expensive? Why is it such a challenge to corral and wipe out Rotary? And he gave his
Wipe out Kawan. Make them all
Why
Rotarians.
is it so challenging and so costly to wipe out portfolios? And he had this great analogy. He said, okay, if you go cut your yard, maybe you have a push mower and it's not too hard. If your yard's bigger and you have a half acre, you may want to invest in a little tractor and a tank of gas, and it takes a little more effort. He said, imagine your yard is 40 acres and it hadn't been cut in a year, you've got some brambles and thorns growing up. You're going to need more. You won't touch it with a push mower. You won't even get it with a little riding mower. You probably need to buy a tractor and invest in a big tank of gas. He said, now extend that concept of a 40-acre tract, extend that across the continents, and you begin to see the effort that goes into wiping out polio. Polio is, you think, well, we've had these immunization days, we've been after it for, we've been doing this over and over for so long. Why does it just keep needing more attention? But when you think about the fact that there are 360,000 children born every day, that's 360,000 more immunizations that need to be done. If we do a million child immunization in one day, we've only taken care of 3 days of child production. So when you think about it, how the population is expanding so rapidly, it takes a lot of effort, concerted effort, to wipe out polio and have everybody vaccinated. So Mike, thank you. Please keep after us because the polio effort takes. Polio, yeah, I know you will. I know you will. Kim, let's talk about food too a little bit. Kim, let's talk about Rush.
All right, great. Well, we know in conjunction with our pig stock event that we're going to make a big food donation to Out of the Garden. So I announced last week that we'd be collecting food here for the next 2 weeks, and of course you can take it to pig stock. So, we got off to a fantastic start. There wasn't even a reminder this week in an email, which was my fault, but I'll do better next week. But thanks for your donations this week, and please bring something next week. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. And while we're thanking you, I want to thank Lisa Simpson. I didn't see her and Walt for joining me at the membership summit last week. We came up with some great ideas. We'll share those with you in a meeting soon. Let's see, John Spillman, can I get you to come up here for a second? We were talking about the Rotarians and the Kiwanis recently. Do you have any news for us?
I do. Yesterday, we took home the cup. Second year in a row, we beat the evil Kiwanians. They're good partners. I told them at their meeting, I said, Kiwanis is great. They are the holding period where you go while you wait for your Rotary application. I really appreciate that. But we won the cup, and I want to thank Chris, who organized the event. I want to thank Chris Justice, and I want to thank Chip for adding the 505 to the event. Our proceeds, because of all of that, were $11,000, and we went to Out of the Garden Project. So thanks for
And I don't see Ralph here. I think Ralph was playing that, and we have a district golf tournament coming up next week. And also on the horizon, we have the foundation dinner coming up in November. Mike, do you want to make a
Yeah, that's November the 8th at the Corey Convention Center. We have a wonderful speaker, Julia Phelps, who is a trustee. Now, we typically have at least 10 or 12 that go. And so we need to go ahead and get our registrations going. And we will be set together. I've been told that. So I need you to go online. You can go online, or just let me know if you're going to attend and how many, and then I'll work with Tom and we'll do the registration and we'll put it in your bill. we can do it that way as well. But we need to support our district governor, Claudia,
Yes.
at this event. She's here today, so show me, how many are interested in going?
Everybody, please.
Good deal, I love it. So we got on 10 or 12, but it is a great affair, and you know that Julie is a wonderful speaker. So, great deal.
Spouses are welcome. It's a great thing to.
It is
to share.
$45 a person,
Right on.
and it'll be a cash bar, but
Okay.
it's always a great event.
When was
That's
the
perfect.
date again, Mike?
November 8th.
November 8th?
Uh-huh.
Dennis Marcotte, do we have time for a quick football pool?
Well, we do. I wasn't ready. All right, so let me get this turned around here. All right, so it was kind of interesting. Kelly Harrell, are you here today? No, not. For those who don't know the teams or anything, take Kelly Harrell's approach. Because he doesn't know NFL teams that well. He just clicked the right-hand side and picked everybody to win. So, but he didn't do so bad. He got a little over 50% right. So the law of averages. So for those who don't know the league and all that, try Kelly Harrell's methodology here. So we had a number of people that finished pretty darn strong. Kim Dane had 16. Simon Cordia had 16. Guy Rivando had 16. All good scores. Dale had 16. James Pingram had 17. Jim Kennedy had 17. Jim, yes, we can won. You didn't. Good scores. With 18, Jonathan Smith and Chip Percy both had 18. Now this is the tricky part here. I just chuckled about this. So we got a tiebreaker, right? Jonathan, where are you?
Let him
He's not
arm
here.
Not a tiebreaker anymore.
Takes my presentation away. Well, Jonathan, he didn't pick the team at the tiebreaker, so that left him out. You picked the wrong team to win, so now you're both tied. Now we come down to the tiebreaker, and you've got to be here to win, but by tiebreaker, Jonathan would have won. Instead, Chip, you now win.
All right.
Great suspense.
There you go.
All right.
Just can hardly stand it.
That's exactly what we needed when the power was out. Cold brew coffee maker.
Now there's.
How about some happy dollars?
Wait a minute.
It's getting better.
All right, so our big winner for the day last week is really, where is she? Lisa?
Well, who is it?
She's over here.
Who are you looking for?
She scored 11, which I think maybe she had 8, then you scored some on the NFL side, it got you in double digits, so congratulations.
Buster, how about some happy dollars?
I'm talking happy dollars. James sold another Lexus.
More. My wife was featured in Jeff's magazine, Star Mountain Light. She made the cover, and then they did an article about her. So.
Well, wait a minute. You didn't tell it all. Why was she on the cover?
Oh, well, they had at Star Mountain, they had a boat regatta, and so her and her crew built a boat, and
What was it about? What was the boat about?
oh, it had the theme, a pirate theme, so they won the race, got best boat, that type of thing.
She worked hard.
It was an incredible vote, I will say.
You need to bring copies of the magazine.
I meant to. I forgot. I had the invocation, man. Can't do it all.
Stayed up all night.
Took a whole week.
Okay, quick update. Just want to warn everybody, Victoria starts driver's ed. For those that don't know, that's my to-be 15-year-old. So I'll let you know when she hits the road. But yeah, pray for her and everybody. She's going to be a really good, strong driver, I'm sure. And Rosa made she came in, I think, 4th in running cross-country page yesterday. Wow. So she's really excited about that. And Rosa is really overwhelmed right now as a junior, which all of you that have had one are probably going, oh yeah. Oh yeah, so just pray for her, for strength. I think she's really struggling right now, so I believe in prayer. So I'd love some of that from her. Thanks.
Well, I've got there's a 5 there for a reason. It's great to be a Rotarian, right? We all know it. And I experienced the Rotarian spirit this past weekend. We had a tree that felled our house, and fortunately it just clipped the corner where the dining room was. All right, so you got furniture market, hotel space, limited, gone, and that doesn't exist. Got to handle the tree. So what happened Thursday at late afternoon, Friday morning I got up and I immediately went to my Rotary list of members. Said, all right, who can I think can help that maybe is related to construction and everything. So I went on my mission and I started at 7:45 a.m. So got a hold of Ralph Jones. I want to thank him. Randy Elliott, Jonathan Smith, Cooper Trotter, Ralph Jones. Everybody gave me somebody to call and made a suggestion. By noontime, I had contacted 3 contractors. One of them, fortunately, well, I knew one of them was in our neighborhood, but Ralph Jones said, don't forget about Doug. And I said, oh yeah, I told Doug. And he's in our neighborhood. And the other people that I called said, we can come down, visit, but can't start till January, can't start for at least 6 weeks. I already had my tree guy called, and he came right away, so that was taken care of. Not the tree, I mean, the tree's not taken care of, but it's sitting in my yard. Ralph's suggestion was a great one because my contractor started yesterday. I'm going, wow. All right. And so I got all that done. Now we go where we're going to stay. I'm going, oh, brother. So I walked in. The music's starting now. I'm almost done.
Better get your wallet out.
I come over here and I said, do you have any rooms? I know the answer is no, but I'm looking for cancellation. No, we don't. Let me call proximity. Darn, they had a room. Tony's team did great. We checked in, checked out, checked in, checked out, because they're always booked every day for the furniture show. So we spent 3 nights unpacking and unpacking to go into proximity, and you guys treated us really, really well. And a good Samaritan on a Friday night, we were having dinner in there, paid for our dinner, and we don't know who that was. Wow. So the experience has been really, really good, and it never would have happened if I was not in Rotary. So thank you very much.
This is a quick one. This is 5. It would be 60 or 70. I don't have that much money on me, but I know every one of you is going to go to the foundation banquet, and that's why I'm so happy that you're all going to November 8th at Corey.
I got a real quick one. So I went antelope hunting 2 weeks ago, shot an antelope. We're trying to get out of there a day early. It's going to snow. They've been warning us for 3 days. It's going to snow, a big storm. So Sunday morning, we go to pick up our meat from the freezer guy and all that, and he's 2 hours late. Supposed to be ready to go at 7. So we get out of here a little about 9:30. We're on the road, we're going down the mountain. The snow starts. Hummer moves fast and this big and this heavy, but it's only got a short nose. And Robert, my hunting buddy, with me, drives the Subaru with the smallest engine. He does not drive a big, heavy, fast truck. And he's like, you know, a lot of people, when they get into fog and snow like this and they can't see the hood of this thing, would slow down. And I said, I know. And I just hope they have their lights on so we don't run all over them.
All right, we're gonna, I'm sorry. You can go, it's a quick one.
Yeah,
It's a quick
I just wanted to, just one more shout out to Chris and his wife Stephanie, who took over for Pigstock when Chip didn't have power, our little pre-cook. And, you know, she was a delightful hostess on short notice, so please pass that on.
Well, Grandpappy Lewis always used to tell me that some people were like penguins. Until they spread their wings, they never know how far they can walk.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I was going to come and talk about the eradication of Rotary in the world. But we'll save that for another day. I don't want to take any of Nancy and Huong's time. It's really timely that they're here. I have no special talent in the world except for being able to identify talent. And maybe 12 years ago, Nancy and I were serving on the Children of Vietnam board together, and I realized that Nancy should not be on the board. She should be our executive director. So Nancy has been the executive director for 10 years now? 8 years. Somewhere in there. Anyway, a while. Nancy and Huong are two of my most favorite people in the world. This is what we've been doing with Gate City's money for 10 years now, and I will turn it over to Nancy and let her introduce Mrs. Huong.
Okay, can you hear me? Yeah? Okay, hi. So thank you. It's always great to be with Gate City Rotary. You've hosted me several times. This is a very special time for Children of Vietnam because it's our 20th anniversary. And we're very, very happy to recognize all of you because in oh, excuse me, could someone push a button on my... I'm sorry. So I'll just share with you, we're just a rolling slide. I'm not going to speak to the slides, but I brought some pictures together. Let's see if we can make that work. Oh. Okay, password.
Uh-oh. No, it's password.
PWD.
That's a good one. There we are.
John Podesta's right.
Okay.
That's the same little round box shot it.
Okay. So as I was saying, it's a very special year. It's our 20th anniversary, and Gate City has been with us for many, many years. We've been able to accomplish together a tremendous amount, and a few couple statistics from those 20 years. 43 kindergartens in rural areas and mountainous areas for ethnic minority children, so they get the best start possible. 113 children with disabilities served with total wraparound services and interventions, so they have a better quality of life and a brighter future. Over 11,000 children receiving tutoring and public school scholarships, and 8.5 million children provided with vitamin-fortified meals. This is just a fraction of what, with your help, we've been able to accomplish together. And I'm so happy to be able to welcome with us today our country director and co-founder that came together, Ms. Lung Thi Huong. So Huong, would you please, Huong is bashful. I really have to coax her up. I'm going to encourage Huong to say a few words.
Okay, hello everyone. Nancy will talk about the program that we promised, because when Nancy in Vietnam, I have a lot, so now she will help me to present to you our activity. So, but myself, I just want to tell you the with your help, so we change many lives in Vietnam. Example, single mom, so we train them how to do their business or how to take care of themselves, because more than nearly 99% of women, they never know about the first health check. So we have them to do it. And some women were very nervous when we take them out for health check because they worry if something happen or they have some disease. So what is next? So that's one thing. And about the disabled children, that is a hard program for us because many children, there are about 5 million disabled children in our country. Different type of, maybe some people affected with Agent Orange, but we just call disabled children. So many people just stay in bed for many years, so with our program, maybe after 2 or 3 years, so the children can, with our normal people, we can walk and we can run, but with disabled children, just small activity like when they move their finger, that is successful. Some disabled children just take one step, so make we happy, make the parents or grandparents or relatives very happy. So with our program, we have doctor to therapy the children, and also for a long time we teach the children or caregiver how to take care of their children. So we have many training for that. Besides the health program, we have them with livelihood. Like a single mom, we still have them with a livelihood. Only invest in livelihood, so the woman can have more income to take care of their children. And Nancy mentioned about the soup mix, because every year we receive 4 containers of soup mix from Rise Against Hunger. And before we just work in the Nang area, but now we move to remote area, just ethnic people. There are about more than 90% ethnic people. They cannot speak same language with us, but the young people, they can. So we build kindergartens, and government support the teacher, qualified teacher. And even some children just go there to get some milk, because we have a milk there, so that is one example that's very difficult. Difficult to call the ethnic people to go to school. They don't want to go to school. They just run around to the forest to get something to eat. That is their life for many years. And now we build kindergarten in the group, in remote area, so we get them together to give them education. That is the first start for their life. So, and with the children, that Rotary Club, in our office we have a big banner, Rotary Club, so when we have, you have one group of Hoa Quý girls, and now they grow up, and then family were there, and you can see their face, it's so big difference. And last few months ago we met them. This year in September we met them to make the plan for them for this year, and they totally changed. So many people have a very big dream that they want to go to university. Yeah, I think that is a very successful program. And now on behalf of the children, this year 20 years, official 20 years, but with me more than that, because I and Ben know each other more, nearly 25 years. So I just came here, this is the 4 days. I will stay here just maybe 2 weeks. Just want to thank you each of you to accompany with us, so where we are today. Thank you so much.
Said so much, and what something that we've learned, and I heard today with one of your speakers about the food program, is that poverty and hunger is multidimensional. And so what Hung is talking about, all of our programs are integrated. So it's not just an education scholarship, but it's tutoring and life skills for young girls. It's not just a wheelchair for a disabled child, but microloan for their parents and therapy and education. And for our single moms program, it's healthcare, as Hung mentioned, and it's a microloan and business training and support and network building for them. So we really look at poverty and hunger as a multifaceted, and you've joined with us to do that. So I would like to ask, we have something we'd like to present. If Chip could come up for a minute. So Chip, on behalf of Children of Vietnam, I would like to thank you so much for 20 years. And this says, in deep appreciation, you are forever in the hearts of children in Vietnam. And we really feel it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Nancy and Wally. This is being connected with such an effort and such an important, vital part of these people's lives is a special thing that we get to do as Gate City Rotarians. It is a very special thing that we've rallied around, and you know, hunger and needs like these, they're worldwide. They're not just here in our backyard, they're worldwide. We're so pleased to be part of that, to combat that with you and see if we can improve people's lives.
We'll work on it together and see what Pig Stock.
And looking forward to Pig Stock. Make sure that's on your calendar.
That's right.
And I'll just say that the pictures are reflective of all the programs that you guys have contributed to over the years. So thank you. Oh, yeah, do you have questions?
We got time.
We can
Yeah.
stay up.
I think we got 10 miness.
Okay.
You've got some great slides here, and I always remember what this is. You want to start with this one? This is a neat story.
Oh, this is we have, you guys helped us with the mushroom facility for a center called the Da Nang Center for Agent Orange Victims, or DAVA. And this is a daycare center for children out in the countryside that have no place to go, and without that center, their parents would not be able to work. So we are building a mushroom center, and the kids help grow it, and then they sell the product to help support the center. This is a kindergarten in the rural mountainous area. They're Katu children. Again, you helped us build a kindergarten to get these kids off to a first start. It's totally constructed with full equipment, electricity, a little interior toilet that's tiny, and the kids do great. And as Hung said, at first not many kids come, and then the parents see that food's going to be provided. So suddenly the attendance goes from 15 to 20 to 25, and these kids are well on their way to compete academically. These are the Phuoc Huy girls, or otherwise known as the Bright Scholarship. We started with them in 2000 when they were in 6th grade, and you can see their young, little, innocent faces. And we did school scholarships and life skills and tutoring. And this September, this is Hung and I with all of the girls in their traditional Ao Dai in 12th grade, getting ready to go to pass university exam, we hope, and go to college next year. Really successful story. And our Empowering Women program, these mothers, my heavens, they get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, they work till 9, they have 2 or 3 children, and they work so hard. And the first time, the staff say to me, the first time they go to visit a house to see if we can enroll a woman, they've never shared their story. And so always they're talking, and it's finally released, and they just break down and cry. They're either widowed, tragically widowed, or abuse. Many sad stories, but they're working very hard, and they're committed to building a business. And we do the microloan, we forgive 60% of the loan and they pay back 40. And it's really like a social, it's not a loan. It is, but if, let's say a monsoon comes and wipes out a mushroom farm business that they started, we forgive that loan and we start all over again. So don't think of it as a bank. It's really a very social service perspective. Thank you, Gate City Rodeo. I'll answer any questions.
Yeah, I have a question. And I'm not of the Gate City Club, so I don't have as much background as everybody, but it's my understanding that the club itself has primarily offered the financial assistance, not much Rotary Foundation financial support. Is that right? Because the global grant is in work.
The global grant did not fly, so we were not able to do the global grant. We went 3 years, 3 different tries at that. But there has been district money. We've done a number of district grants.
Was part of the problem that there's not that Rotary is not in Vietnam? Was that part of it?
What do you think? Was that?
We just had a lot of stumbling blocks with RI in meeting their requirements. Maybe partly because Rotary is not there. There was one particular piece that we needed a specific agent that would work with us, and there wasn't one.
There's a banking entity required that doesn't exist in Vietnam. So that we took it off the table. We went another route, and they wanted us to identify the women for the Empowering Women program, and we felt that was cool because if we bring the women in and we're not successful, we sort of level set that. So we move on without it. It's fine. The Hoi Kui girls are near and dear to my heart. We met them when they were in the 6th grade. In the 6th grade, girls in Vietnam began to, particularly poor girls in Vietnam, that's when they start dropping out. They drop out help at home, they drop out, and that's when we see trafficking come into play. Well, we've got 23 of the 25 that have gone from 6th grade to their seniors now. So we've paid for all their tutoring, their uniforms, books, desks, bicycles, you name it. Gate City has done that.
And also visits to museums and going out even to a store and giving them maybe $2 or $3 and say, okay, what's your budget? You have to learn how to spend your $2 or $3. That's a big experience for country girls.
Yeah, so now we're getting ready to put them in college, and the pig stock funds with us, and we're talking about 23 girls from the 6th grade all the way through college, and the money we're going to spend on that is equivalent of 2 years at Wake Forest. If I were paying the bill, that's what it would be. But that's 23 girls all the way through it. Gate City's done all this, and the district has done this. And every program that's run up here on this screen today has been either a club grant from Gate City or a district grant from Gate City and supported by the district and supported by Pig Stock. So everything up there is something that you guys have done.
Dan, how much how much per girl for those 6 years?
The college has jumped up now. It's about $1,000 a girl for college, and we were
Per year?
Per year. So, previously we've been doing it for $600. So that's and their high school costs we were spending about $150.
Yeah, it raises. It changed through the year because their tutoring requirements increased. So it started like 150, and this year it'll be like 250. We really want them to pass the university exam, so they'll get tutoring in 3-4 subjects.
But when we first met these little girls, I was asking them, what do you want to be? And not one of them, it's just this glass glazed over, that they could be something. And now we got teachers, and artists, and doctors, and engineers, and agriculturalists.
One girl would be a, what is it, who studies all the...
A forensic something or other or whatnot. And I'm like, well, I may have lost that in translation, but it sounded really cool.
Dan, is there a multiplication effect also in the background here as these girls go through the university system, whom they'll invest in the future?
There is. When we first started this, I sat down with them and talked to them, and I think it's time to go back and reiterate. We asked them, we said, look, we're going to do this, but we want you to pay it forward. So we've asked these girls to say, in your future, we want you to take 5 girls and see that they get what you got. So we have a multiplier effect. Chris?
Dan, I was going to say this during happy hours, but Dennis took
Oh, we
the
got drinks?
opportunity away from But we've had, Gate City's had, 2 recent opportunities for service. One was the 505, $25 for that 505 would feed a whole lot of people. We had a service opportunity this last Sunday, $25 helps eradicate polio, and we've got Pig Stop coming up, and the price of your ticket to Pig Stop goes to that. So don't sit on the sideline for these things, guys. There's hard service opportunities and there's easy service opportunities. These 3 things that we've had in a short amount of time are super easy service opportunities. $75 does a ton of work. So if you sat on the sidelines for the previous 2, don't sit on the sidelines for Pig Stop. Right.
Well said, well said.
I just want to say, everything kind of happens for a reason. So I was fortunate enough to attend an event last night, and so I'm looking through these pictures, and so everybody's sharing what the funds go to and the impact it's making. And so I think I can share that impact through my personal experiences. So back in '98, I went back to Vietnam for the first time ever. And so I grew up very poor in America, but you haven't seen poverty until you go back there. And so I remember very vividly just looking at those pictures, eating at a restaurant, and we had this big meal. It was an outdoor scene, and now you start to see these kids, they start to come by, and then I purposely, I'll never forget it, I didn't want to eat all my food because I wanted to push some to the side to get to them. So I think they knew that. So as soon as the dinner was over, the kids come running to the table and he starts scooping all of our food into the can. And the owner just comes by and just starts feeding. And so poverty is a real thing over there. And I just want to say thank you for all that you're doing for this cause. It's impactful.
Any other, I think you had a question?
Well, my thing was about the Agent Orange. It's still around after all. Does the U.S. government fund any of the heart surgeries and stuff?
I'm really sorry to say it is, that there's some different disease. If you even look at the veterans, there's the offspring of some of the U.S. veterans, the same have disabilities. The same thing happens in Vietnam. Plus, there were hot spots that were never cleaned up where Agent Orange was spilled, went into the water, and it goes up the food chain. So a poor farmer goes out and fishes in a lake, eats the fish, causes problems with him or herself, and then the children, the offspring. So
it's a dioxin. You either clean it up or it's there forever.
Yeah. So the good news is the U.S. government is doing a lot of cleanup right now. They did a huge multi-million-dollar project in Da Nang to clean up the army base that was there, and they're moving on to another site. But people move around. They were exposed, and then they leave town, and so it's really all over the place. So we do our best. We don't put a criteria on whether there's history of Agent Orange exposure on the children we serve. We serve all children, no matter what. But we do know that that's part of the reason, and we can look at their family history and understand that.
We'll cut the questions off there. It's